आर्टको कुरा गरिराख्दाखेरि अझै पनि हामी सबैलाई जोडिरहेको र इतिहासबाट सुरुवात गरिएको थिएटरको कुरा गरौँ र थिएटरकै जब कुरा गर्छौँ थिएटरले संसारमा नै हेर्ने हो भने हामीले जति पनि अमेजिङ पर्फर्मेन्सेसहरू जसरी पनि डिजिटल एरामा आज गएर हामीले कति सजिलोसँग ओटिटी प्लेटफर्मदेखि सिनेमा घरहरूमा गएर पर्फर्मेन्सेसहरू हेरिरहेको छ त्यसको सुरुवात गर्ने र न्यू राख्ने नै थिएटर्सहरू नै रहेको छ र थिएटर्सको कुरा गरिराख्दाखेरि थिएटर्सलाई जोडेर राख्नलाई नेपालमा पनि रङ्गमञ्चको जब हामी कुरा गर्छौँ केही समय हामीले रङ्गमञ्च दिवस संसारको रङ्गमञ्च दिवस पनि मनाएका थियौँ र यसकै बारेमा आज कुरा गर्नको लागि हामीसँग एकदम मुख्य अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ नेपालमा मात्रै नभइकन संसारभरि नै थिएटर्सको बारेमा कुरा गर्नको लागि थिएटर आर्ट पर्फर्मिङ आर्ट्सको कुरा गर्नको लागि शेकअफ टेक्निकको बारेमा चाहिँ उहाँले ट्रेनिङ गरिरहनु भएको छ र निकै वर्षदेखि यो फिल्डमा काम गरिरहेको भएर उहाँ एकदमै लेजेन्डरी नाम पनि हो जब हामी थिएटर्सको कुरा गर्छौँ र आज उहाँलाई नै हामीले कार्यक्रममा स्वागत गर्छौँ He is founder of Michael Chekhov International Academy, Jorg Andreas. Jorg Andreas, welcome to Good Morning Nepal.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Jorg Andreas.
Yes.
Because it starts with J, so I thought it's J, but J is silent. So Jorg Andreas, welcome to Good Morning Nepal. So we are very, very thrilled to have you in our show. So firstly, how has Nepal been so far for you?
Thank you for the invitation. And Nepal is very new for me. I'm the first time here.
Oh, wow. Very first.
And very first time. And it's very interesting because when I speak to the people, to the students I have now here, I realize they don't know so much about the European history.
Yeah.
And so I realize for myself, I have no idea about the Nepalese history.
So it's starting from zero.
Yeah. Everything starts new now for me.
Wow.
And I have some things to do in the future to understand all that situation here much better. So very sorry.
Your favorite experience here at Nepal, like what you are like doing here, like something you're like what you were eating, is you enjoying the food, or how's the weather? Like what is something that you're really loving here at Nepal?
The people.
The people.
The people.
Amazing. Yes, I really wanted to hear that. So the people. Yes. So
yes.
What about people you're really loving it?
You see, I didn't met the people in their daily life.
Yeah.
I met the actors who come to my workshop. But there also, it is a very nice and very interesting quality jump or jumping with my thinking. How can I find out how they think, how they feel, how they relate to their own acting? And that is an interesting point. One thing, they are different.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there is a ground, a deep love for acting. And this, I found, that's amazing. And they have a deep interest to become an artist, not only a mechanical figure.
Yeah, I think that's what is beauty of Nepalese people as well. We are very welcoming to anything.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned about theaters, you are particularly here to teach Chekhov training techniques. So I would like to begin from there. I would like to request you to share more about the journey of your with Chekhov's method training that you have been working on, or you've been doing it for many years now, and how this has been for you, and why Chekhov method training, why you are doing this. I'll start with that. I'll start with the why.
Yeah. This is, of course, a not so easy question to answer because the history of my life, starts in East Germany.
Yes.
East Germany.
East Germany.
East Germany. And in the past we had East Germany and West Germany. And I started there and became a film director.
Yes.
And for some reasons, I decided I step out of the film area. I worked there for many years, and then I had a question: how can I create something? How can I work? What is more related to life?
More related to life.
More related to life, and I got the crazy idea to become a priest.
Priest.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something new. I didn't find it anywhere. Wow, yeah, and then?
I started the study, but
Yes.
in the end, after 1.5 years, they don't wanted me anymore.
Okay.
And that was a sign, on the
That
other
to do
hand,
something else.
I have to find something else. And so I were going back to theater,
Yes.
and then I tried to find the ability to find the money by working
Yes.
for it, to go to America to study the Michael Chekhov technique.
Yes. So when you just mentioned about Michael Chekhov technique, Michael Chekhov is a very big name from the way he has worked. He was even Oscar. He was even nominated in the Oscars as well. And how he has been working in the theaters. So what made you really feel that I really want to focus on Michael Chekhov technique, not something else? So you only from the very beginning you were very clear about I want to do this technique in itself, or you had options also?
You see, in a study for becoming a film director, we had also acting classes.
Yes.
And we got taught with Stanislavski technique.
Yes. Wow.
Quite clear.
Yes.
Stanislavski technique came from Russia.
Russia.
And East Germany was connected with Russia. So we had the Russian Stanislavski technique.
Yes.
And giving up the film, looking for something new, there is what I call a thing of karma. Because when I studied to become a priest, I met a colleague from America.
Oh,
He also studied to become a priest. And he was connected with the Michael Chekhov studio in New York.
Ah, okay.
And he asked me, do you know about Michael Chekhov? How?
Yeah.
And I said, Michael Chekhov? Who is that? We didn't know in East Germany about Michael Chekhov. In West Germany, there was published his book. And so he brought me over the border,
Yes.
the book.
The book.
And this is the point to answer your question. I started to open the book, was reading. It was fantastic. I liked how he speaks to the actor, to the artist. And then I realized it is like a cooking book.
Cooking book.
Like a cooking book.
Wow.
If you not cook, you have no taste from it. So,
that's very interesting. Okay.
So I have to do the things what he is describing.
Okay.
Only reading doesn't help. And I started in my living room.
Yeah. You started practicing it.
Practicing it in my living room. No teacher, no one. I started by myself and explored it.
Yes.
And at the same time, I started in a very low performance situation to act. I practiced it in the practice with the audience in some place, and studied it and studied and studied. I worked through the full book.
So what was the reaction when you started studying it and finally started doing it? How was the reaction? How were the feedbacks coming for you?
The point was, and this is the answer to your question, I felt it is changing myself.
So personally it changed you?
I personally changed. I developed myself. I developed a different relationship to my movements. I developed a different relationship to my thinking. And I developed a different relationship to understand the world through the art.
To art.
Yeah.
And that is what Chekhov's technique did for you.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, as we're talking about Chekhov's method only, that you have been traveling around the world to do conferences, workshop, to teach on Chekhov's technique. So basically, how has the experiences been for you? Of course, as you shared, it has been very, very impacting in your personal life also. It really impacted your personal life. It really impacted for who you are and it helped you redefine yourself. But how was the reaction coming all over the places that you were going? How were people adapting to Chekhov's method training? How was it?
It is still going on.
Still going on, yes. That's why you are also here. We'll come to as the part of Nepal, but overall in the world, how is it coming?
Yeah, you see, then I had the question, because I moved from East Germany to West Germany.
West Germany.
That was the only possibility to go to America to study the technique there. And when I came back, I started to direct with the Chekhov technique.
Yes,
in theater. I performed by myself, and also I started to create a program for amateurs, half amateurs, and so on. It developed step by step.
Who wants to do something in the theaters? Who are
Yeah.
doing something already in the theaters? Okay.
And the fascinating point was that when we did the exercises, when we worked on it, and when we worked artistically, also the people experience for themselves, wow, something happens with me. Something happens with me what brings me more to myself.
Yeah.
And that was a proof, that was a proof, okay, let's try. And if the people ask, I go.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing it.
Okay.
I'm not pushing it.
You're not pushing
I don't advertise myself in Facebook or in Instagram. I have an account. The people ask me, this is it.
And that's how you go to places when people invite you.
Yeah.
So how has Nepal been so far? When I mentioned in the earlier, it was more about the theater and the performing arts. So what made you feel like I should come to Nepal and I should do this Chekhov method training here at Nepal as well? So what was that realization and how it's going for you? Are you loving your decision coming here to Nepal?
I love it very much to come here. And it was because I have a website, advertising I have, of course. I have a website with my teacher training program. And one day I got an email from now my friend here in Nepal, Tanka, and he wanted to join. So, and it happened through all the little difficulties that he took part in one module of it. But it was quite clear he will not manage it, I will not manage it, that he can take part all the time. This is too difficult.
Balancing things.
The balancing things are too strong.
Okay.
And so he was working very hard for it, to find connections and find abilities, to invite me to come here, to bring it here. That is, of course, maybe an easier decision.
Yes.
And he had some experiences with a Chekhov technique, and so he also was fallen in love to it. And he has an impulse that the actors in Nepal, the directors, become known with it. And so there is an impulse, he is also a director and actor, that the people can know it. And so he invited me to come.
Yes.
It took 2 years.
2 years. 2 years and you're finally here in Nepal.
And now I'm here.
Yeah. I think the best things we have to be a little patient, but it's amazing when the amazing results come in and you are here in Nepal. So while you are here in Nepal, your classes has already begun, and I would like to ask you, how has Nepali people, Nepali artists, Nepali theaters that has been, so how has the experience been with them while teaching Chekhov's training, Chekhov's method training? Are they accepting it? Are they trying, they are like blending in it? How difficult it is being? How is it going actually overall? How is everything going on?
It's very, very, very surprising. It's very surprising for me.
For you?
Yeah. The people come,
yes,
and they, as we have spoken before, they are very open. They are very, very nice.
Yes.
And they won't take everything.
Very flexible.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. So it's beautiful.
Yes.
And when I speak out of my experience and when I try to give that, then I can see how a lot of questions appears.
Wow.
A lot of questions. So, and then to answer a little question, only to understand one word, it happens that we talk half an hour.
Wow.
This was not my aim. I wanted make it more practice. So we are just in a process to.
So they're adapting to the Chekhov
bring that, and there is a kind of a, how to say. It's very difficult to say because I don't want judge it. Yeah. I only want try to describe it. Yeah. They are actors. They have their tools. Yeah. They can act, and I have seen one performance. Wonderful actors. Yes. I see they have their tools and they act the tools. Yeah. In an understanding of a modern theater, a theater of our time, yes. I felt that I miss something.
Yeah.
I miss something that the acting what I have seen in this one group,
Yes.
maybe other absolute different, they act only from their head. And all the emotional expressions are in their head, miming. And the acting itself, they have not found the good way that the gesture is also speech.
Yes.
So they acted from here. I could see they have their wonderful tools, they do that, but there is something missed, that the full body
Yes.
is included.
Wow.
Of course they move,
Yes.
no
So,
question, but not the body movement is not expressing the character itself.
Okay. So, you know, I'm listening to you like a very good student, trying to understand theater, trying to understand the arts. But while you were saying so, of course, there are lots of there is technicalities when it comes to theater, also to learn something also when it comes to the, as you said, about speech, body languages, expression. There's so many layers towards it. So that is something very, very, very far from me. I'm just like, I'm trying to understand it. But still, as the experiences you share, that you're meeting lots of Nepali artists, you're going to lots of theaters, and you are also experiencing different, you are seeing a different performance as well. So if you can recall, or if you can just share, like, who has been your favorite artist so far, if you've enjoyed, or certain theater that you have loved the most, if you can take the name, like, you can be a little biased here. Can you share a name that you have, like I'm loving this person here, the art or the performance, or a kind of performance that you have really loved? So anything you can recall it here while happening in Nepal. Anyone, like, take a name. Can you take a name of any student or any artist or anyone that you are really loving it here, the performances?
This is a very difficult question for me.
Yes, that's why I asked you to take a name.
I'm not good in it,
Okay.
and I wouldn't like
to promote one person.
to go to that.
Okay.
Because there are so many beautiful actors.
Yes.
And it is not the question, do they have the Chekhov technique
Yes.
or not? The Chekhov technique is not a style.
Yes.
It's not a style.
Style.
The Chekhov technique is, as Chekhov's book says, to the actor.
Actors.
So it is first something what is speaking to the actor, how the actor find a different way, different from Stanislavski, to the part. This is one side. The second side is how acting out of such developed acting, another kind of
Yes.
relationship to the part and the acting, how this is radiating to the audience.
Yes.
The question of the audience, that the audience is also taking something from it, what helps that the audience get new sensations,
Yes.
new impressions. You know, we had in Germany Bertolt Brecht.
Sorry?
Bertolt Brecht.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very difficult to pronounce.
It's a very famous person, now long ago.
Yes.
But he wanted that the audience begin to understand in the performance, to understand how the social life
Yes.
is and how they can change it, that they see they can change it. Chekhov was more subtle in this direction. He was not provoking it. Bertolt Brecht developed his technique, his theater, very famous kind of theater,
So
to provoke.
Okay.
Chekhov developed it through the acting. There is something radiating to the audience, and the audience begin to transform also.
Yes. So when we talk about Chekhov's method training, and when we are talking about, of course, Nepal theater, but let's talk about overall world today and before. Of course, you have seen the transition when it started, when theater started, the concept of theater when it was way ahead. Before, when it was, I felt that theaters were theater stories were really ahead of time. But now in the digital age where we are coming, people have very less patience, and they want like screen times, like they are comfortable in watching an OTT platform, screens, like digital age has come, technology has come so fast and rapidly. How you feel that it has affected the performing arts, how it has affected theaters? Do you feel like there has been a very huge difference and it has affected the art form?
It has very much affected. And this is worldwide.
Yes.
So one effect is that we see in the theater more and more,
yes,
how to say, how they work in the theater, they work a little bit like in film.
yes.
So to create emotions in the theater in our time, very often it will happen that they put in the music, very loud the music.
Yes.
I spoke with one director of the other performance I have seen, and I asked him, is that your meaning that the music tells the story?
Yes.
Or should the actors tell the story through their emotions,
Sure.
through their acting?
Actually.
Because in some important moments, he brought in the music and not the actors expressed
Yes.
the emotions strong to the audience. The music was, as you know,
Yes.
checking.
It was overshadowed.
So it is a question. I don't want to say you have not to do that, but it is a question. So there is one deep influence from the film, also how performances get structured.
Yes.
And this is one point. The other point is that for the actors, they bring in, many times I see that, not everybody, in the acting is a kind of bringing in more and more the daily life habits. As if theater should copy daily life. And my understanding is
it's something else.
That's not the point.
Yes, that's not the point. While you're mentioning about this, don't you think it's also very important to move ahead with or adapt with the digital changes that is coming forward, and that is coming as a huge challenge in performing arts in theater? So don't you think that it's very important, even the artist or the theater concept at least adapts to the new changes, especially when the challenge is digital era? Do you think we need to adapt?
There's a big question. You know, now we have the artificial intelligence,
yes,
and they can make films without actors.
Yes.
So, and there was a protesting
yes,
in Hollywood, and this is a big question. So we have to find, as actors, and for the theater, a quality, a new quality. What is digital not can give to the audience.
Yes,
so,
true.
And this is a key. I think a key can be the Michael Chekhov technique. Yeah, maybe there are also other techniques, no question.
Yes.
I don't want to say this is the only one.
Exactly.
But to find a way that we can, in a different way, impress the audience,
yes,
and reaching to the feeling of the audience, reaching to the thinking of the audience.
So you were saying that though we are moving ahead with digital challenges and technologies, but the thing is also, we might lose the real essence of what theater is all about, what acting is all about, what performances is all about. And I also very agree with this, because when we see art, when we are seeing something, we really want to get connected with it. We also even want to have an impact, yeah, because when we go to a theaters, when we see a certain act, while we come back, I think for a few days of our lives, it's in our head. The theater, acting, everything is in our head, and that is how it impacts us. So I think that the digital age is a very big challenge for theater, to protect theaters also. Do you see in coming 10 years of lifespan or 20 years of time coming, do you ever see theater being endangered or extinct?
You know the phrase, the theater is dead, life to the theater. The theater lives.
Yes.
It will not die.
It will not die.
It will not die. But there is a cultural question of how we want to develop altogether as society. What kind of culture do we want to develop?
Yes.
Do we want to develop a digital culture?
Yeah.
Or this is on the way?
Yes.
Or do we want to develop a human culture? So that the humans are the most leading factor for everything.
Right.
And this is also connected with Michael Chekhov because he was very much inside connected with this question.
Wow. So we're almost at the end of our show, and this will be my very last question to you. What would be your advice to aspiring theater artists who are looking to work on the field of theater landscape, who want to make a contribution, who want to mark in today's theater landscape? What would be your advice to them?
It's very hard to give them an advice, and that's very abstract because
yes,
it's at least very individual. What I would like to say is, because many work with Stanislavski technique, you have to understand that Stanislavski, all his life, was refreshing, working, changing, until his last days, changing his understanding of his technique.
Yes.
Michael Chekhov, a little bit opposite to Stanislavski, also all his life was searching to develop the technique for himself and for the people.
Yes.
The point to the actors is never stop to learn more and dig deeper into the technique you have and find out more.
Yes, because theater always lives.
The theater has to live.
Yes.
It is.
And how everyone coming together.
It is extremely needed for the
very
society.
True. Very true. And I really love the fact and how you mentioned about what we want to build. We want to build a human culture, or we want to build a digital culture. But yes, definitely, we want to move with time. We want to have the technology revolutions, but on the cost of what? We really lose the essence of human culture. And as you said, put it very rightfully, yes, we don't want to lose that. And theater is there. Theater lives always. And I'm really grateful for your time, you coming to the show, and you are here in Nepal making this Michael Chekhov training and doing this training, teaching amazing artists, working with lots of artists here in Nepal. It really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.